The Grenada government takes another shot at a CCJ referendum, and in sport, a center of excellence for sports to be established in St. Lucia. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, April 24th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
So it seems like this regular season was hijacked by injuries. We're into the playoffs now. Are you seeing that being translated into the playoffs?
I think so. I think to an extent we do, because a lot of the plots, like for example the Isaiah Thomas saga that happened, and a lot of those injuries that happened in the season are carrying over, because you have teams, for example, like the Pelicans, who have Anthony Davis. When him and Cousins got rolling finally, and people
Tell me, what is exactly that you do?
Revenue manager. Well, what we do is, our main job is to maximize profit, room revenue profit. So what we do is we analyze a lot of statistics. We look at what's going on in the area at local hotels. Like, for example, we have Homewood Suites. It's one of our competitors. We see what kind of rate that they're offering on the websites. All over the web, there's tons of different rates that are available.
The Grenada government is preparing to carry out another referendum on the country adopting the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, as its final appellate court. The move comes 2 years after the electorate voted to reject the move. Attorney General Dr. Lawrence Joseph confirmed yesterday that a draft amendment to the 2016 Constitution of Grenada was recently sent to the Grenada Bar Association for discussions as the first step. He said there would be wider discussions once the bar gives its input. The 2018 Constitution Amendment Bill includes everything in the 2016 bill, with 2 exceptions: the section about swearing allegiance to the country instead of to the Queen, as well as the Code of Conduct for public officials, have been omitted. Now, Joseph said the government will once again establish a committee to spearhead the process. The bill was among 7 which failed to receive the adequate number of votes in the November 27, 2016 referendum. In that process, 12,434 voted against the CCJ, while 9,492 voted in favor. At the swearing-in ceremony of new cabinet ministers following the March 13th general elections, Mitchell called for a reopening of dialogue on the CCJ. And as the debate surrounding the repatriation of 82 Venezuelans from Trinidad and Tobago last weekend continues, opposition MP Bo Terwari is questioning government's management of the influx of people fleeing from the South American country as economic refugees. He says these people should not be treated as the same as illegal immigrants. We get more in this report from Joel Brown of TV6 News.
Speaking with TV6 News via telephone, opposition MP Dr. Burendrat Terwari said the repatriation of the Venezuelans, including 40 who sought refugee status in Trinidad and Tobago, is a major concern.
You cannot keep them for an inordinate time in detention centers as if they were criminals. And you cannot send them home in a plane in collaboration with the government from which they are fleeing. I think a terrible error of judgment has been made here.
He said while any nation has the right to protect its borders from those seeking to do harm, humanity requires that the government find a humane solution to manage the situation while having effective control of the borders.
Illegal immigrants and refugees are 2 different things, and I think you have to treat them differently. And even illegal immigrants in a situation where they are fleeing political and economic upheaval in a country, one has to be a little more sensitive about it. So I am not saying open the borders and take all the Venezuelans who come to Trinidad and Tobago. I am saying that the government must have a plan. They must be organized.
Meanwhile, the opposition MP said he is not legitimizing the hiring of illegal immigrants from Venezuela or anywhere else.
The Jamaica government says it will modernize the operations of the Bank of Jamaica, the BOJ, within 6 months. Newly appointed Finance and Public Service Minister Dr. Nigel Clark gave that assurance at a meeting with rating agencies at the 2018 spring meeting of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank governors. A statement from the Jamaica Information Service reported Clark as emphasizing that modernization of the central bank is important in increasing transparency and greater accountability in the bank's operations. Clark also discussed Jamaica's increasing stable economic environment in addition to the planned policies and programs of government for sustained economic expansion, fiscal sustainability, and the protection of the vulnerable in society. Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next. The St. Lucia government will establish a Center of Excellence for Sports which will be aimed at harnessing the talents of young athletes in order to unleash the true potential of the sports industry. The move by government comes on the heels of the country's success at the recently held Commonwealth Games in Australia, where high jumper Laverne Spencer captured St. Lucia's first ever gold at the showpiece. Prime Minister Alan Chasney said the initiative would allow success to be measured outside of traditional academic pursuits. The project is expected to get underway in September and will be based at the Gros Islet Secondary School. It will begin with select programs that will be expanded over the next 3 years. Now, in addition to the Center of Excellence for Sports, Chasney said his government planned to conceptualize an action plan based on a comprehensive review of the island's sports facilities. The plan is expected to lead to a more strategic approach to the development, upgrade, rationalization, and management of the facilities across the island. Guyana's football boss Wayne Ford is expecting a good showing from the country's under-15 girls at the Caribbean Football Union qualifiers tomorrow. Isan Griffith of Capital News has more.
The Guyana senior female team, the Lady Jacks, have arrived in Trinidad and Tobago ahead of the CFU qualifiers today. Guyana will play Grenada in the opening match on Wednesday. Guyana has been placed in Group E and will be one of the 5 host nations along with Dominican Republic, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and Antigua and Barbuda. President of the Federation, Wayne Ford, says he expects the ladies to give a good account of themselves.
Preparation for the local girls, the girls that are part of our local contingent, has been decent. The international girls have been playing frequently within their competitions, so they are coming with what we expect to be a good fitness level. Reports that I've had engaging with the new coach and the management team is that they're very, very positive. They're looking forward to really stamp their authority on this competition, all in preparation for the CONCACAF qualification.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.